Hello and welcome into the circle today. I invite you to come and find your place. Pick a comfortable spot, lean back, get ready, and just listen. Be ready to receive the message that comes through today. This is a message in a bottle reading. It will be sent out sometime in August. So if it finds its way to you, there may be something in it for you to hear. You'll know because it'll hit just right. It'll something in you will sort of lock in and you'll be paying attention. So take what fits, leave what doesn't. And if this message is not for you, it's okay. Just set it free. Let it find its way to the person that it's meant for. So we're going to do an oracle card reading and we'll do an embrace, accept, and release. And the cards have all been shuffled. There's already a card that is flipped out. It is jealousy. I started to do this reading a little bit ago and had to restart because the dogs got very upset by the Amazon driver and this card had shown up earlier. So jealousy really wants to come through. And that's not even one that I've drawn yet. It made itself known. So let's shuffle one more time. Let's let everything get in line and let our messengers let us know what they want us to hear. So, good fortune. I always like good fortune. Past life. Truth. And this is our power shot. Grounded. And then our underlying motivator, air. Ooh. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about this past life. More about this past life, please. You could help us learn and help us know, help us hear and help us grow. New moon, something new coming in, also something mysterious. The divine feminine, also a little mysterious. And release. Oh, well, that didn't clarify much, did it? Good fortune. It's facing right up. It's looking at you. I don't read reversals as the opposite. I just sort of read it in the context and whatever my intuition says. Jealousy. That jealousy card has really wanted to come out this morning. So I think we need to look at it through the lens of that. Our power shot, the flavor, the added boost, the oomph of the message is grounded. And usually when there's a reverse, sometimes it's saying that there's a lack and that you need that. So I'm going to go back to jealousy for a minute. This one has been coming up quite often in readings. And jealousy, the opposite of jealousy, and it did come out reversed. The opposite, if we're going to look at reversals, and the opposite meaning, jealousy as it stands keeps us small. It keeps us contracted. It's things that other people have that we want. It's things that we notice a lack of in ourselves and that we want for ourselves. Maybe it's something that we need. Maybe it's something that we require on this plane in this life. Maybe it's something that we need. If I'm reading the opposite of it, for me, the opposite of jealousy is gratitude. So when this one comes up for me, especially when it's reversed, I look at what do I have to be grateful for? What are the things that I have that someone else might be jealous of that I can then share? What are the gifts that I have? And when you share of yourself, that is spreading good fortune. That is sharing the wealth. We're all in this together. None of us get out alive. That kind of went a little grim there. But we are all in this together. And what you have, especially the gifts that you have, the resources that you have, the skills that you have, the knowledge that you have, if you can share that with others, then there's less likely to be kept small. We can become expansive. We can all help each other. Past life, a lot of times that for me is healing. When it's coming up, it reads as it's healing something in a past life. Now, past life doesn't mean a previous soul life. It could just mean a previous version of you. When you go through a change, there's that phrase, no man steps in the same river twice, because both the river and the man is unchanged. And I think that's very true for where we are as we walk through doors, as we expand, as we grow, as we become those different, newer, better versions of ourselves. Hopefully, that's what we do. That's what we're all here to do, right? When you're a part of a spiritual collective, I think we all work towards that, especially when we have that divine feminine, and we are working with our intuition. We are working with our skills, our gifts. As we grow, we leave those other versions of ourselves behind. And sometimes we need to heal some part of us that we kept small, that was kept small. There's something that is coming up, a previous version of yourself. It could be just the you that you were yesterday. But there's good fortune. I like the good fortune. Trust. This one sitting right side up, this is something that is around you, that you are experiencing, and it's something that you need to lean in. And when you tie that with jealousy, that kind of says something, right? Okay. I really hope this reading resonates for someone else. Air is your thoughts, your thinking, your intellect, your ideas, your intuition. It's the things that come from up here. And a lot of times, if you have spiritual gifts, if you have psychic abilities, if you have communication in those mystical woo-woo ways, then woo-woo is a phrase that we use in our home. It is not meant to be demeaning or diminishing by any means. It is just sort of the realm of the metaphysical, the realm of the spiritual. So if you have that woo-woo in you, air is it's a foundational element for that. And that was our the shadow position, but the thing that is with us all the time. It is the thing, the supportive, the foundation of the message in this regard. And I keep shaking the table, and I'm very sorry. Tied with past life, we pulled the 3 cards. We pulled the new moon. The new moon is mysterious. The new moon doesn't have a lot of light. The new moon is also a new cycle, a new growth. And if you have been letting go, learning a lesson, working through that previous version of you, maybe it's time to step forward. Maybe it's time to trust and to move down the path where there's not a whole lot of light yet, a little mysterious, but it's new and it will be beneficial. And when you're using your intuition, that's your divine feminine. That's tapping into all that we can understand, or that we can begin to grasp, or that we can touch on, though we may not truly see it. We may not truly understand what's there. It's that feeling, it's that knowing, it's that calling in us. It's the softer, gentler, sweeter side of things. And release. So with that past life, is there something you need to release? Is there something that you are letting go of? Are you letting go of something in that version of yourself? Very often when I am in a period of growth, I have to let go of those things that I had. And usually there was something that was keeping me small. Usually there was jealousy around it. Usually there was something that I felt that I wanted, or that I needed, or that I felt this envy, this jealousy that I saw in someone else, because I knew I needed it to call into my own life, to develop for myself, to bring to myself. And sometimes as we move past that and we gather those things for ourselves, we have to let go. of that person that we were that didn't have them. We have to cut those ties because now that abundance is here. Let's see where the tarot cards take us. So again, the cards have been well shuffled, and they were cleared and shuffled. And let's see what they have for us. So the embrace, accept, release, a 3-card draw, and immediately what wants to come out right there, the 3 of Cups, flipping her way, flipping their way. 3 of Cups is community and camaraderie and coming together. A little bit of celebration, and there's harvest and community and good things, abundance, and that speaks to a collective, doesn't it? Coming together in a union. Cups are emotion, and it's union. It's a good feeling, isn't it? Okay, let's do one more shuffle. Let's let everything get in line so that the messages can come through. Whoo. The King of Cups flew out and landed right side up, face up. Okay, so we'll get our King of Cups, get everything in line here. Our King of Cups, he flew out, so that's 2. Also came out with it that the King of Cups was on top. Immediately behind him, hidden, was the Page of Cups and the Hanged Man reverse. I'm going to keep all of them because they all play a part, but the fact that the King of Cups was sitting on top of, so I guess we have to ask ourselves, what control do we have on our emotions? What are we keeping ourselves? What are we holding on to and hiding the fun that is to be had? When you let go of the rules and regulations and structure that we put into place, there's some fun and frivolity and foolishness that can be had as we learn and as we grow. Are you having fun? Are you letting yourself have fun? Maybe we should. Maybe we need to take some of that structure away. Let go a little bit. Let ourselves feel. Let ourselves enjoy. Let ourselves have that celebration. Okay, a lot of emotion here. And with our Hanged Man, I haven't even drawn a card yet, and we've got 4 of them here. So much for a 3-card draw. With our Hanged Man, he was drawn reversed, looking at things in a new way. Suspended, held. This is when you look at it, if you were in the position I am in, if you were looking at it, that would be feet first. That reversal, pointing up towards the divine, that's trying to call it in, or maybe there's something you need to call in. That suspension of your rule and order. Let that go. So now that we're shuffled, let's do our embrace, accept, release. So we're going to embrace the King of Swords. A little more structure around your thinking. A little more confidence, a little more control, a little more regality. Is that a word? Regalness? Being regal, a little more. All right. We're going to embrace that. We're going to accept the star. The star is the culmination of everything that we have in us. We are made of stardust. It is all of those particles, all those particulates, all those bits. When a star is formed, when a star is born, it's dust and particles and icy crystals and all of these things that swirl and swirl and swirl and swirl, and they come together and they condense and they form a star. And a star shines its light. You have this in you. All things, all parts of the matter are here in you. You need to shine your light. That's telling you, reversed like that, means you need to call it in. You need to call that divine light in. You need to use it. So embrace our King of Swords. We're going to accept all these wonderful things that we have and call them in, and we're going to release. We're going to release our Four of Swords. Jealousy is an emotion, right? Do you let yourself feel jealousy? Do you let yourself feel your emotions? Do you hold on to them so tightly that there's no room for fun? You need that pause. The King of Swords, there's a benevolence there. There's a, I'm listening. Convince me. He wants to grant your wishes. He's ready to hear. This is a thinking man. And maybe instead of feeling quite so much, maybe you need to put a little more time into thinking critically, thinking carefully, being precise with your communications, being sharp with your thoughts, not to pierce, not to cleave, not to cause harm, but just to be clearer. There's a lot of swords here. Okay, we have our King of Swords. We have our Four of Swords. We have our release. That's a sword. And we have air. All of these are air. All of these are thinking, communication, working with our thoughts, working with our ideas, working with our intellect. The king is the highest level in the land. That is the one that oversees everything in that realm. Our king of thinking, our king of communication, our king of intellect, he has worked his way there. He is not whacking his sword around recklessly. He is trained. He has honed his skills. He has sharpened. He has practiced. He has developed those skills, his intellect, his communication, his thinking. Perhaps all of the feeling that you're doing, you need to let go of some of that and do more of the thinking. So, your past life, this previous version of you, the version of you that you're moving through, or that you have moved beyond, especially if this came about around a new moon, this new path that you're on, where you're not feeling as much, where you're thinking more clearly, where you're bringing your thoughts together. And when you act, you're acting after taking the time to look at your choices. This was the release card. When we have this reversed, I feel like what this is telling you is actually what you need to do. And I feel like what you need to do, move to the side. I feel like what you need to do is to aim your thoughts in your own direction and think to the future. Think of how things are affecting your future. It came up in the release position, but I feel like this would be release. And I feel like this is what you need to call in. When you look at all of these other knives that are in here and the trust, sometimes these cards are cheeky. Sometimes they tell you exactly where you're at and exactly what you need to hear, and you don't necessarily want to, but they just boom. Trust the message. Trust yourself. So what I'm getting from all of this, if I can try and put it all together, this is another of waiting, of taking the time. And I kind of feel like our king is also saying, take the time. Think about it. think about what you're doing before you move. There are no cards of action here. These are all cards of stop feeling quite so much. You're feeling too much. You're taking it too heavily emotionally. You need to lighten up. You need to learn to lighten up. And sometimes in lightening up, we do have to think instead of feeling so much, because our feelings can drag us down. You have all of this in you. You're stardust. The divine connects to us through our intellect, through our thoughts. That is how the divine communicates with us. Maybe you need to accept that. In this card of release, of what we need to release, the divine is there. That spirituality is there. When you look at it right side up, it's taking the time to stop and consider. When you see it upended, maybe it's not so much what you need to release, but it's what you need to bring in. And everything is coming together to say, you might be feeling too much. And when you have jealousy, you can't really have fun. You need to learn to enjoy. You need to learn to have fun. You need to let go of these things. And you need to do a little more thinking. Think about what you do have. Think about where you're at. Think about what's going on in your own life. Think about how that divine is speaking to you. How the divine is speaking to you. So now that you have this, what do you do? So if you'll allow me to be a tarot mom for a moment, sometimes if the message here resonated for you, then there's something in it for you. If there's something that clicked, if there's something that you took note of, if something that just sort of nudged just right, pay attention to it. Write it down. Think about it. Sit with it for a little while. Even if you need to trust, because even if it doesn't all unfold for you, like, oh yes, I get it now, you can trust. And if it's jangling those nerves just a little bit, it means there's something in it for you. So you sit with it. And in the meantime, don't lose yourself in the emotion. Let yourself have fun. Don't lose yourself in these thoughts either. His sword is not at the ready. His sword is canted. He's relaxed. He's taking it in. He's listening. You need to embrace that. There's no worry in this card. And even if you go back to this card, there's no worry. There's just a card of pause, of rest, of meditation, of relaxation, of letting go and connecting to the divine. Let it come through for you. Don't try to force anything. That's not going to go well. There's no cards of energy here. There's no wands. There's no pentacles either. Everything that's here is just about letting it come to you, letting it unfold little by little by little. And in the meantime, you take care of yourself. You do what is right for you in each moment. You look for that fun, look for that good time, look for where you can turn your mind towards the things that you need to focus on. And in letting go of that previous version of you, as you release that, you enjoy the mysteries of that divine feminine. And you do your best to learn to have fun. And and that is your celebration, and that is your joy, and your coming together, and your connection with the woo-woo community, with the spiritual community. Welcome to this new path. Welcome to this new life. You are needed. You are valuable. You are seen. And you can do hard things. You'll find your way. I believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sitting in this circle for a little while. And as you move on to your other circles, and as you move on with your day, I wish you well.